Let's talk about 3 ways to identify if someone is sent to kill your destiny. But before I do, child of God, it is important that you do take every single connection, every single relationship back to the Lord. If anything, you should be taking these people to the Lord before you even pursue them in any way. Because understand, the enemy is only looking for one door to enter onto your house and destroy. Number one is they cause you to compromise concerning sin. These may be individuals to where you had a high standard, right? You set boundaries concerning a certain sin, but somehow anytime they come around, it's like those boundaries, they just go out the window. And these also may be individuals that maybe when you go to them, right, confessing a sin, instead of them uplifting you, right, and telling you that you are able to do all things through Christ whom strengthens you, right, they'll more so validate, right, your feelings. So in a way, they would validate your sin and your weakness, right? They'll say that, oh, you're not perfect. Oh, it's a part of your sinful nature. We all fall. And yes, the Bible lets us know a righteous man falleth 7 times and gets back up. But when their message is more so stay down, right? Not stay down until you get up. It's just stay down. That's how you know. For number one, I'm going to be talking about Solomon, right? Realize that this is a man who came from a father that feared God, knew of God's wrath, knew what was acceptable to the Lord and what wasn't acceptable unto the Lord. But him having these wives, right, the foreign wives that he had, they caused him to start worshiping other gods. And this destroyed everything that he built with the Lord. Now, I'm not saying that the Lord did not forgive him, but his kingdom was taken from him. Realize that this is what those which lead you to compromise and sin will do to your life. This is the destruction that they will bring unto your life. All that praying, all that fasting, right? Coming out of agreement, casting down strongholds will go out the window. Because what does the Bible say? They cannot destroy a strong man's house until they bind the strong man first. Realize that the people that is sent into your life that has you compromising concerning sin, they are binding you first so that they can destroy that foundation and that they can destroy you. Number 2 is these are people that hinder your victory. Now, I'm pretty sure y'all know who I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about Joshua. But before I do, these are individuals, right, to where they may even come around you, right? And whenever they come around, you have no motivation, right, to do the things of God. You have no motivation to read your word. Or this can either be a very condemning person, to where you could tell them, man, I want to go on my first 3-day dry fast. And they're going to be like, what? You're crazy. You're going to die. Or tell you, man, you're crazy. You don't got to go on no 3-day fast. They quench that fire that you have. And having that fire is important because this is how we overcome, right, the attacks of the enemy. Your fasting, your prayer, your worship, right? All of these things are major. Now, Achan was an individual. He was inside of the camp with Joshua. He brought a detestable item inside of the camp. The Lord said if they did, then he will no longer help them. And mind y'all, they did not know that he brought this detestable item. So they went to battle, right? Thinking that, oh man, everything's still good. They did not prevail. And Joshua was worried. He's like, Lord, what's going on? And the Lord is saying that there's sin in your camp. Child of God, it's important to perceive what the Lord said. The Lord said, Israel has sinned against me. This was one person that caused all the people to suffer. Having this individual within your camp will cause you to suffer. But they end up putting him out of the camp. They killed him and burnt everything that he brought up in there, right? That is something harsh that someone would think, why not give them a second chance? But when you inside of this spiritual war, and you dealing with warfare, and then you dealing with the opposition, then people coming up against you, you gotta stand 10 toes down. You have to be serious. You have to put to death those people, right? You gotta burn those bridges, right? You gotta put out those detestable habits, whatever that thing is that they brought in with themselves. Because these are individuals, they will hinder your victory. They're also individuals that will literally hinder the movement of God within your life. And we know that it's of God's will that we have victory, right? But there literally are individuals, they're literally standing in between the movement of God within your life. They have to go. The Lord cannot give you that victory with that thing within your camp and with that person within your camp. So that person gotta go. And that detestable item, whatever it is that they brought inside of the camp, that has to go as well with them. For instance, this can be connections, right? This can be habits, right? This can be places that they told you to go to. This can be recipes that they gave you. I know some people gonna be like, what? How could a recipe? But remember, this person, they hinder you from victory. So say for instance, you struggling with gluttony, you trying to overcome that, right? And you trying to get that spirit up out of you. And they gave you a mean shrimp Alfredo pasta, right? Recipe. You gotta get that up out of your camp because you won't prevail with that in there. Having all those high calories won't get you to victory. So put it all out, okay? The very last one is jealousy. Now, I know a lot of people, they may look at this as like, man, obviously, if they're a jealous person, I would not have them around. But certain people in this case scenario, they're like David, right? Since there's someone close to you, you compromise and you're like, well, this is my cousin. Or, well, this is my high school best friend, right? Or, well, this is my elementary best friend, right? Or this is my brother-in-law. This is my sister-in-law. Or even like David, this is my son. This is my daughter. Realize these people, they're not seeking for just anything. No, they're seeking for your life. Now let's talk about David, right? His son was completely rebellious. He was an enemy of David. But since he was David's son, David ain't come at him full force, even though he could have. Because that was his son. It was someone that he held close and dear to him. But his son was there to not only steal his kingdom, right? His son was there to kill him. So to take his life as well. And if anybody know about Cain and Abel, having that jealous brother around, right? Having that jealous close loved one around, they're seeking for your life. Because realize, in order for someone to be jealous of what you have, they're jealous of you first. They want what you have, but they're jealous because you have it. And how does this affect you? Much like David, these people, they are life-threatening. They will cause a whole bunch of oppression, right? A whole bunch of chaos within your life that will oftentimes drain you. That will oftentimes have you distressed. And the list goes on. And many of you today dealing with a son such as David, rather, again, this can be any person close unto you. The Lord is wanting to put this person out. Though he put to death, right, David's son, he is needing for you to get that person out. And if you do not take heed to the warning of the Lord, he will remove them himself. Just as he did for David's son. David did not want to kill his son because it was his son, but that was an enemy. And understand, David's son were to do way much more damage if he were to stay alive. So understand, these people, they're going to do worse and much more damage than you can possibly ever imagine. Get them out, or the Lord will remove them. And it's going to hurt way worse, just as it was for David. David was so hurt, it was to the point to where the people had told him, I perceive that if we all were to die and your son would have been alive, you would have been happy. It may hurt to let them go, but child of God, you have to let them go. They're not after just anything. They're after your life. If you are struggling to let these people go, say, God, remove them. And when the Lord is removing them, you need to let them go. The Lord knows how much you love them, but can you see that they are your enemy? Can you see that they're after the purpose that God has for your life? Can you see that they're after your calling? Can you see that they're after your health? Can you see that they're after your marriage? Can you see that they're after your children? Can you see that they're after your finances? See the bigger picture, child of God, and pray about it. Now, if any one of y'all have any three of these people inside of y'all circle, rebuke them, get them out. And be blessed and walk in victory and dominion, child of God. Love you.